All right, guys, what's going on? How you guys all doing today? This is the Club of the Man 1993. I apologize. This is coming a little late, but I just haven't really been able to sit down like focused until now today. Last night I caught SmackDown late, just caught the highlights, and I couldn't really say too much about the show. Last night, which is why my SmackDown review was a little bland. I thought last night, but I didn't sit down and watch 205 Live because I was kind of distracted by something else that I was talking about with somebody else, and I just kind of wanted to just take a break and just focus on that and just take care of a couple of things that I take care of today before I came up here to talk about 205 Live. So let's talk about the show 205 Live, which took place on May 28th, 2019 in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Okay, I'm not sure yet, whether or not next cruiserweight title match is going to be, at Super Showdown or Stomping Grounds. So I still don't know, what direction they're going with this. And even, this show was all right. I mean, the main event match I really enjoyed. The rest of the stuff I wasn't a big fan of, I'll be honest. And I guess what kind of really took me out of this episode was something that felt like a Vince decision. Like this didn't feel like something that Triple H would do, but it just didn't make sense to me. For me, it basically has to do with the number one contendership for the Cruiserweight Championship. So let's just get to the show and see what we got here. Yes, Tyler, Raw was trash for sure. But anyway, so we're going to talk about the show. We opened up with a backstage segment with Humberto Carrillo and Jack Gallagher backstage talking. Gallagher obviously says he still feels he has some unfinished business. Yes, they were in the ring in London in a fatal four-way, and yes, Carrillo did beat him. However, he still feels he needs to know one-on-one, without anyone else in the picture, who's the better man. Setting up for our main event later on. Okay, Jack Gallagher and Alberto Carrillo, and Carrillo, of course, accepted the challenge. The first match we have, though, is the Brian Kendrick taking on Mike Kanellis. And Mike Kanellis won the match. Again, first off, I enjoyed their first match they had together a couple months ago. That's where I really started, see a little bit of momentum from Mike Kanellis. But then again, I've just been taken out by Mike Kanellis. Because, again, as I keep saying, several weeks ago, there was that segment where Drake Maverick told him that, even losing strong in defeat isn't going to cut it anymore. Making it seem like that, Kanellis pretty much, had his job on the line. Of course, he won the next match, but then lost how many more matches after. So, again, he's not earning his opportunities because, he's, just having, he even lost a few with Akira Tozawa. He lost in a no disqualification match. Yet, a couple weeks later, he's getting an opportunity in that fatal five-way last week. What? It's not making sense. Now, of course, I'm hearing stuff that I guess in 3 weeks their contract's expiring. So I don't know if the Kanellis are sticking around or whatnot. So I kind of couldn't really get behind this match because I just don't understand what's going on with Mike Kanellis at this point. So he gets a victory, like the second how many attempts for him. So whatever. Backstage, we see Tony Nese talking to Drake Maverick. I'm like, okay, he probably going to ask him when his match is. Tozawa comes in. And then Nese is talking about how, since they're both baby faces, Tozawa's on a hot streak, and says that Tozawa does not want to wait for a number one contenders match. Whoa. He doesn't want to wait for a number one contenders match? Wasn't the fatal five-way supposed to be for that last week? Like, why is Akira Tozawa all of a sudden having to earn the opportunity when I swore he earned it last week because that match was a fatal five-way for the number one contendership? Was it just me, or was I like that? Like that kind of took me out of the show a little bit because it felt like a Vince thing, not a Triple H thing, a Vince thing. It's like, yes, Tozawa won the match, but how many? He's been on like a hot streak. He's still been winning matches. Yes, he lost his match to Buddy Murphy Elimination Chamber. He's still been winning ever since. What else does he really have to prove to earn this opportunity against Tony Nese? I don't get that. So that kind of took me out of the show. But Maverick's like, he's got a lot on his plate. What does he have on his plate? He doesn't want to rash any decisions, but he's going to take it into consideration, which is stupid. We see Arya Davari, though, angry and being checked out by a medic. He starts complaining about the 5-way last week, saying he has unfinished business with Oni Lorcan. Eye for an eye, ear for an ear. Noam Dar faces some enhancement talent and wins with a running Insiguri. Of course, a couple weeks ago, Noam Dar returned on 205 Live, and he returned as a babyface. He had briefly turned heel on NXT UK, then turned face again. Then he turned heel. But afterwards, he basically just cut a promo to signaling that he's still a heel. He scoffs at the idea of being back on track, saying he's never been off the tracks and whatnot. So I guess he's going to be a heel now. So I don't know, maybe they're going to try to build him up as a contender now to fight Tony Nese for the Cruiserweight Championship. I mean, there's some history. I thought they had a good no DQ match, or heck, it was they had a couple months ago right before Tony Nese, won the Cruiserweight number one contendership tournament for WrestleMania. I'd be okay with them having a match for the Cruiserweight Championship. So that. Then we have Oni Lorcan talking about how men should take responsibility for their own shortcomings, and next time he'll even Arya Davari up with a second set of stitches on the other side. So I guess we're getting a few with Lorcan and Davari. Should be some hard-hitting matches. I mean, we already seen that one for that hard number one contenders match, but then we have this main event with Humberto Carrillo and Jack Gallagher, which I thought was again a really good match for sure. Like the brightest spot of the night, I gotta say, with this was this match. Again, I keep saying, and a lot of people keep saying this, I do kind of agree. Right now, 205 Live isn't as strong as it was, in like the Cedric Alexander, Mustafa Ali, and Buddy Murphy era. There really isn't someone. I mean, yes, Tony Nese, I love him, but he still, to me, feels like a mid-carder or upper mid-carder with the main title of the show, which is fine, but the star power level he is not at the same level as we had with Buddy Murphy, Alexander, and Ali. It's just not quite the same. So obviously, they need a couple of names in there to kind of increase the star power a little bit. And this match, I saw I got a little more faith with gentleman Jack Gallagher, who again I just felt that should have never really turned heel in the first place. I felt he wasn't really getting anywhere as a heel, and again, look at the guy who had, in my opinion, before Triple H took over, had one of the more underrated cruiserweight matches that, of course, most of us I know agree with at Fastlane 2017. Possibly the match of the night with him and Neville. They had a fantastic match. And if built up like a babyface, it could be. And yes, he lost this match, but he's still great in this match, showing off some power, doing some high flying maneuvers and whatnot. Like, bring out the physical ability. But honest to God, I do think if anyone can reach that star power, I do think it can be Humberto Carrillo. He definitely, has a lot of, moves. And a guy who kind of just came out of nowhere, in my opinion. Because when he debuted on 205 Live, I had that match with Buddy Murphy. At first, I'm like, this guy's being treated like, just like a jobber of some sorts, like, with Raul Mendoza on NXT. So, why should I take him seriously on 205 Live? But then I saw how he basically took Buddy Murphy to the limit, really increasing, my faith in him. Because before then, again, I was still kind of bobbing. Okay, you treat him as a big star on 205 Live, but he still feels like a jobber on NXT. But I do think Carrillo really does have, some potential for sure. Definitely had that star power that, Alexander, Murphy, and Ali all had. He won this match against Gallagher again. Some good moves, especially, that shoulder roll or whatnot he did, just flinging Gallagher in the air or whatnot. But again, physical, brutal, and he eventually wins with that sick looking finisher with that some type of splash he does afterwards. Of course, him and Gallagher shake hands, so they just know who the better man is, of course, and they're able to move on from here. So once again, maybe Carrillo, of course, will be again. It's getting close to the time where Carrillo should start getting considered, of course, being in title contention as well. I don't know, maybe, they'll go with, some type of thing involving, Tozawa, Dar, and Carrillo or something like that. But again, which shouldn't make any sense because, again, Tozawa should be the number one contender right now. Oh, and also forgot to mention this. Maverick was asked about, what's going on in this situation, before the main event. And guess who he sees? R-Truth and he tries to chase him down. So because he wants to get the 24/7 title off him. So I guess maybe they're going to transition Drake Maverick to a heel role, the way he can be heel on all the shows he's taking a peek at. I don't know. This still is this whole thing with Drake Maverick has been ridiculous. Again, just having him as a face on one show, but heel on the other shows. It should have never made a manager of the Authors of Pain. I'm sorry. They really should have never made him. It's always been, it's just a joke. You know, chasing after R-Truth with all these flyers to a 24/7 championship. You know, peeing on Bobby Roode's robe. My gosh, that still gives me nightmares and whatnot. But yeah, I don't want to throw that out there. But that is it for 205 Live, guys. We got KQ OD Gaming says Kanellis needs a push. And you know what? I've seen some of the matches Kanellis has. You know, he does seem like he does possess something. So he's just not been given the chance to really be booked properly since coming back to WWE. Well, coming to WWE. Maria's come back. Yes, they put on 205 Live. They're giving them stuff to do. But again, I feel like he's just always losing. And this is okay. Yes, I get. You know, they're telling a story about it first, but again, the moment after he made a threatened with his job, basically, he wins and continues to lose again. It kind of took me out of it a little bit. Tony Nese deserves better. Again, he is great. I like Tony Nese, but again, the crew division right now just doesn't have the star power that it did when those big three were around right now, and that's what's making this not as strong of a show. Not terrible, just not as strong. What if Ray fought Daniel at the Rumble and AJ run the gauntlet match and Ray to Ray and lose to Ray and Orton won because Randy and Ray had kept their feud going when AJ wins the title at Mania over Bryan? Maybe. 205 Violence the ECW today because one title. True. Again, I mean, at least you know it's a show that feels like a lot more wrestling based, not as much storytelling based anymore. But yeah, thank you guys for joining me live for this review. I'm going to be back up here a little bit later for my NXT UK review and my NXT reviews. And I'm going to try to do my NXT TakeOver 25 predictions as well today as well. And also, I decided this because I'm listening to it again. If you haven't done so yet, look up the Emancipation of Jon Moxley, the podcast where Jon Moxley, not Dean Ambrose, Jon Moxley sits down with Chris Jericho and basically tells his side of the story about why he left WWE. Basically, the CM Punk edition of Dean Ambrose telling his side of the story. And I think I may do instead of doing a top 10 special this week, I may do a live stream, talking about my takeaway from what stories that Moxley shared for sure, or something like that for this week's special live stream on Thursday. But of course, again, we'll see, of course, again, unless I come up with some other idea. Or, of course, if you guys have any ideas, they'll mention them in the live chat as well. So we'll see what happens, guys. But, yeah, I give 205 Live a C+ this weekend. The main event was good. Everything else, I don't know. But I'll be back up here live again soon, guys. Stop liking the videos and start more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Demand93, and also check out my WrestleMania Experience documentary down in the description box down below. And with that, guys, I'll see you all later for NXT UK, which will be next. I almost slipped off the chair. But till then, guys, have a great rest of your day. Peace out, everybody.